Nationalism is a creed, a school, and a pseudo-religion which the West created to fill an ideological vacuum. Man cannot live without a faith, an ideology to which he can show affection and love. In the Middle Ages in the West, this faith, ideology were found in Christianity and the religion of the Church, but Christianity was an unrealistic, imperfect, and one-dimensional religion. And since it had an unscientific and anti-intellectual basis, it could not last as a permanent and universal religion and ideology. The Renaissance and subsequent changes dealt the Church a heavy blow, and Christianity could no longer make its presence felt as a living faith in Europe, and soon became a dead creed. As we said, Christianity from the beginning lacked the dynamism which provides the people with zeal, frenzy, fanaticism, and solidarity. After the Renaissance, it retired completely from the political, social, intellectual, and emotional life of the people, and Western ideology was left with an intense vacuum. In the absence of an inspiring force that would revive them, the Westerners were left in the dark. Christianity was dead. Since man cannot live in a vacuum of belief and needs an ideology to follow and love, Azar, the idol-maker of Western ideas, hewed the idol of nationalism and offered it to the West as a new religion and a new god that was welcomed by thirsty devotees. This vacuum was later on filled by Marxism, and both these schools owed their creation to the weakness and failure of Christianity in satisfying the religious longing of Westerners. But in Islamic East, there never existed such a vacuum. Here, Islam was already present as a living, dynamic, and universal ideology. It contained such dynamism that in the first century after its advent, it unified all the lands stretching from North Africa to the farthest parts of Asia, and from Spain to Mongolia, and joined together peoples of different races, languages, and cultures as a single ummah. Even now, Islam still possesses in the Muslim world a far greater power of rousing revolutionary zeal, devotion, and solidarity than any other ideology. It can inspire its followers to sacrifice their life and wealth in the way of the school, and for that reason there is no need in the Islamic world to import nationalism as a Western commodity which is produced in accordance with the peculiar conditions of that region. Nationalists and Western intellectuals of the Islamic world ignore the facts of their own country and its cultures and fancy that any experiment which has been successful in the West may be repeated in the East. But this is illusory thinking. A blind imitation of such so-called intellectuals has left them no power of discernment to realize that the West possessed special conditions which differed from those of the world of Islam. The West was faced with a decadent Christianity and church, whereas here is a revolutionary and dynamic Islam. It is unable to understand this reality that Islam and Christianity are two wholly different phenomena. While Christianity is a collection of dogmas and religious rites of priests, Islam is a living, comprehensive ideology containing intellectual and practical issues concerning both the individual and society.